Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for today's guest is this incredible actor known by the name of James Davis, who was in Power Rangers, who was the Black Ranger in Power Rangers Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge as the role of Jace. So I'm about to give James an ad into the live now and have a chat with James. Hey James, what's up?
Jacob, how you doing, man?
Yeah, really good.
Awesome, awesome. Great to hear your fantastic accent. How's it going in Australia?
Oh man, amazing.
Oh, hang on. I can't see myself. Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for
Yeah,
appearing
great,
on my
thank
show,
you.
by the way.
Beg your pardon?
I just said thank you so much for appearing on my show, by the way. It means a lot, James, for you coming onto my show. So to
My
people that don't know who you are, I'm going to get you to introduce yourself and explain a bit about what you do as a person, and then I'll dive right into the questions.
Awesome. So a bit about me, obviously. Uh, in terms of work, I'm a professional performing artist, singer, actor, dancer. I have done theatre shows. Done musical theatre in England, and I've done roles in Power Rangers and other TV shows like Legend of the Seeker and UK TV show Inspector Lewis, which is a murder mystery series, and yeah, lots of other things like that. Well, lots of different things, but yeah, it's a bit about my work. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll dive right
Mm.
into the questions now, James. So for my very first question, you actually played the most awesome character ever in Power Rangers Dino Charge and Supercharge. What was it like getting to play the role of Chase, who was a ladies' man in Power Rangers? And yeah, what was the experience like getting to play the role of Chase?
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's. I mean, of course, as an actor, as an artist, having the opportunity to play a role for a long, an extended amount of time is a huge privilege, and it was fantastic. It's amazing what can happen over the 7 to 9 months, where you learn to just you learn more and more about the character as you go along. It's like you know it's like getting to know somebody that you want to be best friends with, kind of thing. It's just everything's more comfortable, and yeah, it's great fun. Great challenges. Power Rangers is probably one of the longer, uh, in terms of the hours that you work per day. It's kind of one of the biggest shows, possibly in the world, and so full of fantastic, wonderful challenges, and you're working with some amazing people, and some of those people I'm still very good friends with today. So yeah, lots of really really great experiences, and just a huge privilege. And obviously, part of it is having the privilege and talking with you. So yeah.
Awesome. So for my
Yeah.
next question, what was your favorite memorable moment about playing Jace in Power Rangers?
So, I mean, there are a bunch of memorable moments. Personally for me, there were some occasions where I got to work with a young lady who played my little sister, and that was really really sweet to have that. More innocent and caring moment with somebody. It was really beautiful to have that experience. Some other times working with the actress who played Kaylee, to have a bit of fun with that, and also the episode where Tyler gets paint on his back and falls in love with the monster that who woos Tyler into thinking that she's something else, and that episode does really stand out to me, and yeah, there was loads of fun.
Awesome. So for my next question, what was the stunt work like on Power Rangers, and how did you keep up your fitness while doing the stunts?
Okay, well, first of all, I can't not promote's not the right word. I can't I have so much respect for the people that we were working with in the stunts. And so you know, we had the privilege, the opportunity to do some stunt work ourselves. But of course that does not take away from the extremely well practiced, extraordinarily professional stunt people that some of them were from New Zealand and a lot of them were from Japan, and their work ethic was just really, really inspiring. So, of course, like I said, you know, we did have the opportunity to do some of our stunts, and we did have a number of weeks before filming where we had stunt practice. So that was a good laugh. And good fun and a good challenge, because you know sometimes you don't have the opportunity to learn how to not just throw a punch or kick, but to be punched and to be kicked and to try and make that look as realistic as possible, because of course a lot of the time you may not actually be connecting with that other person, and in fact it's a lot of the time better not to. So yeah, it's great fun though.
So for my very next question, as you mentioned, with the whole chase coming, so there's this like Beast Morphers crossover coming this weekend actually. What was it
Yes.
like coming back as Chase for the Beast Morphers Dino crossover?
It was like putting on a pair of shoes that you've had a lot of really cool experiences with. Um, it was of course really, really fantastic to see some of my friends who I worked with in the first two seasons that we worked on together, and to meet some new fantastic faces to they were just really, really excited to be there. You could tell that there was a really good energy with all of them, and of course that was just really special to see. You know, because some of the days they are really long, and you will be challenged at times with getting enough rest and getting enough sleep and things. So. Yeah, and that takes me back to, I just remembered you asked about staying fit and training. And to answer your question, it was a lot of the time it was, you know, either before filming, you know, sometimes we might have had a half day, and so you know it's just getting in the training when you can. Sometimes you might have like a 12-hour day of filming, and then you come home, you work out, you go for a quick run, and then you eat, and then you read your lines for the next day, and you go to sleep. And that's kind of you know, it's just whenever you have the opportunity to get the training in, because it is important, and they do feed you some pretty good food, so you got to make sure that you look after your fitness. So yeah, yep.
Awesome. So for my very next question, if Chase could have any 5 Ranger team members on his team, who would Chase actually pick and why?
Okay, so I think through this time, I imagine that Chase has learnt, because you know he wasn't in New Zealand, obviously for a lot of the Dino and Dino Supercharged seasons. And so I think what he learnt was that family is not just who you're blood related to, and the fact that you can be really, really close and have almost the same kind of connection with others. And so to be perfectly honest, I think the people that he's been working with for a number of years now, I think would be his first pick, because that'd be like family to him. I think the original Red, Austin St. John, recently, you know, he's been back, and so to work with him again, or to work with him for the first time, for me is was great fun to. I don't think he had come back for years anyway, and so that was really cool to work with him personally, and to get to know him a bit. But I think Chase might have perhaps looked up to him a little bit as well. So to have him on the team would be great. And a couple more specifics would be Brennan Mejia's character Tyler and Yoshi Sadasu as Coda. I think those are the two that definitely I'd say probably bonded the most. But then the rest of the group as well, absolutely. I think his family. So why would he work with anybody else?
Great. Awesome.
Yep.
So for my next question, you were actually, as you mentioned, you were actually in The Legend of the Five, and you played the Seeker. And you played the character Mark. What was that experience like, getting to be in The Legend of the Seeker?
Yeah, it was. It was amazing. It was my first ever TV series role. And so here I was probably about 17, 18 at the time, and I'd grown up in theatre, which as some of the people watching may know, is there are some major differences between theatre and screen. And so it was so special to be with a group of people that had the patience for me to learn as I went a lot of the time. I had the opportunity on a regular basis to look at what we had filmed and to see how it translated on the screen, because obviously you want things to be, you want the level of energy to be to be the same throughout the whole series, right? Rather than somebody being way over the top or way too natural, perhaps. So there's a level of energy that comes with every particular, type of show or film. So yeah, there was a lot of learning that went on, and even to the point, I've told the story to friends and family before, how there's this point where the character that I played, he sort of double-crossed who he thought was his brother at the time, and anyway, it ended up with the character throwing his brother on this chopping block to just before to basically get his head chopped off and to be executed, and after we cut. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry if that was too hard," because I had to kind of push him down onto the chopping block, and he was like, "Oh, it's totally fine." And I think he might have said something like, "Oh, feel it. It's actually, it's not bad at all." And I pushed it, and it was actually like foam. And so it's amazing how the world that we see, when we're watching a movie or a TV show, can be so different to how it actually is in reality. And and obviously if you have an exceptional team, then it becomes extremely believable, whatever the material is that you work with. If it's foam, they make it look like real wood. If it's a plastic sword, for example, they make it sound like it's really a real sword. So yeah, it's really interesting to get to have that behind the scenes look. Or it was really interesting, continues to be. But that was my first taste of it, really. So, yeah, a really, really fantastic start of the journey. Yeah.
Awesome. So for my next question, with my next question, you were actually in this music video called the Thomas Brothers. and you
Yes.
actually appeared in that music video called Sorry. What was that experience like, getting to appear in the music video?
The experience. Well, they are the Thomas brothers, who's made up of Samuel Thomas, Josh Thomas, Joseph Thomas, and Benjamin Thomas. They, among the rest of their family, we've actually known each other since, I think, Sam and I were about 6 or 7, perhaps. So they're like family to me. So of course that's really it's just so much fun working with people that not only you respect as artists, but that you're just really close with. This is just loads of fun. So yeah, it was great. They come out with some fantastic ideas. They're really creative people, and on top of that, no matter how exceptional their music is, or their whatever art they share, they're really fantastic people, and I love working with people that are just really nice people. So I think that's really important. So yeah, so if you ever have the opportunity to interview them, if you haven't already, I'd suggest that might be great, and I could let them know if you like.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
Sweet. So for my next
I'm writing a note.
Yeah. So for my next question, James, so if you could be in any TV or movie franchises, what TV or movie franchise would you want to be in, and why?
There's a TV show that's filmed, I'm guessing predominantly in the UK. You've probably heard of it, called The Crown. And so good. And honestly, I mean, it's just one of the many fantastic shows. And of course, there are different genres, different energy levels that and for good reason. But that one, I think, is just I just really love how honest their acting is, and how well that they seem to portray their characters, the stories, and yeah, it's just the team clearly is top notch, and so that is just one of the many. Of course, New Girl. I've been rewatching New Girl recently, and oh my goodness, it's just one of those shows where like I find myself cracking up, laughing out loud, and so that would be something that I don't know if they're still filming. Maybe they're not, but it's something like that. I would. I think it would be great learning for more comedy experience, but also that group of people that that were the core cast were just phenomenal at what they did. I think it was cast extremely well. So something like that would be great fun as well. But obviously, lots of experiences. Yeah. Anyway, to answer your question, those two I think would probably be one of my top 2 at the moment.
I love how you said The Crown, actually, because Matt Smith, who plays Prince Philip,
Oh yeah.
He's such an incredible actor. He actually was in Doctor Who. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I love how he performs as Prince Philip in The Crown. So I love how you said The Crown.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just such a good show, isn't it? But it also very interesting to see that they've for the next seasons they've got obviously a different person playing the Queen, and there was some really big, I think it's dangerous to say shoes to fill, because somebody who plays another character, it's not like they reinvent that character, but it's their take on it. So I think if that person didn't do as good of a job, if that person didn't do as good of a job or better at playing the Queen, then it just wouldn't be the same. But of course, this person is she's doing a fantastic job as well, or has done. So yeah.
Awesome. So for my very next question, what have you learned about yourself as a person during COVID this year?
Whew, what have I learned about myself? I think a lot of people can relate to the fact that work can be and has been challenged in this time, um, and so so I think being I've learned to not rely on myself more, but just take matters into my own hands rather than rely on waiting for the next audition or anything like that. Um, so yeah, just starting my own things. I'm going to be starting my own YouTube channel soon. Something that I sort of got the word out there, started to get the word out there last year. Asking people questions on my Instagram as to what they might be interested to hear about in a particular subject. And so I'm really interested in that too. It's going to be it's got a bit of an interview sort of thing about it, but it's also a very different a very different genre, I guess you could say, to say what you're doing. And I hope you're having a fantastic time doing all of these things, and that everybody, and that that it's a privilege for anybody to have the opportunity to be interviewed as well. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
So yeah. So but I think just taking things into, not relying on the possibility of when, and just getting started on your own, stuff now. Don't wait. Yeah.
Awesome. So for my next question, what are the positives and negatives into the acting industry, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
Oh my goodness, there are so many positives and so many challenges. I wouldn't say that they're negatives at all. I would just say, like in life, there are lots and lots of challenges, and it's a decision to grow through them or to let them affect you until you do decide to grow through them. And so challenges, positives are, some of the many positives are that if I personally am interested in people, I love people, and I'm really interested in psychology. And so that's one of the many aspects to acting that I find really fascinating. And not just going, okay, here's a person that may or may not have existed. Why are they the way that they are? Who are they? Why? And what's happened in their life, and what do they want in order to really understand a human being. Sometimes when I work with people, I say it's like, an example I use is it's like getting to know somebody you want to be best friends with. You just want to know everything, but not just, what kind of food do you like? Oh, okay, you like pizza, and leave it at that. It's like, why do you like that? Does it go back to a childhood memory, and all of those things can resolve in how a person describes something in the future, or in that particular moment in a particular scene. So psychology is really interesting to me. Another perk is travel. Obviously, when these kinds of what's going on at the moment ends, and we can go back to international travel, where people feel it's safe to, we have the opportunity to go overseas. New Zealand, as you know, Australia and New Zealand, we're kind of far from a lot of other places, and we have beautiful countries, and it's a real privilege to live in the countries that we live in. But to travel overseas and say you want to go to Portugal or just the States or whatever, England. There's so many places to explore, so many cultures to learn about, and it's part of the experience, and extremely enriching, I think, as a human being and as an artist. So some of the mini perks. I could go on for a long time about those things. You know, relationships, building, you know, getting to know people. Challenges could be making sure that you look after yourself, not only to do with the fitness side of things, but the health. You know, what you actually put into your body is extraordinarily important, and making sure that you get enough sleep is a challenge that that I've had to work on because it's yeah, it's a good challenge. Maintaining your energy as well. If you're doing 12-hour days, how do you have like half an hour to an hour to an hour and a half, however long's rest in between the day? You know, maybe you woke up at 3 in the morning and you have to go until, I don't know, whatever time in the evening. How do you allow yourself to rest and then carry on, and offer as much energy as required? Yoshitsudasu is actually really fantastic at this. When we were filming together, he honestly, like, he could just sleep anywhere. I think it's a really fantastic skill. So yeah. So yes, some of the pros and some of the challenges, but I could go on for much longer about all of those. But yeah, just some of the many.
Awesome. So for my next question, have you seen any of the incredible fan series of Power Rangers that are out there? Like Power Rangers Unworthy, shout out to them. They're so incredible. And Shattered Past on Nerdbot Studios. Have you seen any of those fan series? And if so, if you got asked to come back as Chase in any of those series, would you want to appear in any of the Power Rangers fan series?
Yeah, you know, like I would definitely seriously consider it. I can't say yes or no. It's something that you know, it's in taking a job, it's not just, oh, that sounds fun, but it's, you know, how is that going to further my my opportunities, my career, and things like that. And you know, who will I be working with? You know, are these people, you know, do I like the style of what they're doing and things? So there are definitely some choices that need to be made prior to just going, yeah, that sounds great. And of course, any opportunity should be seen as a huge privilege if you're offered something or you have the opportunity to do so. So I would definitely look into it. Answering your first question, I have seen some fan-made you know, clips, and I think it's great if you're passionate about something and it's not like a copyright thing, then cool. Like, and it seems like it seems like you know, there's a great community around it as well. So yeah, that's really cool. I can't tell you exactly which ones I have seen. There is something in the pipeline at the moment which might actually take me over to the States at some point, that we might be filming over there. But because of, you know, things happening with COVID-19, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen yet, or continuing to happen. So yeah, it was early stages for that, but hopefully it'd be great fun. Yeah, I'm sure I'll keep you guys posted if and when it happens.
Awesome. So on to my very last question, James. What new projects do you have installed after COVID?
Oh, hang on a tick. I'm just going to find my my charger.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, Jacob. Could you
Yeah, I'll repeat that again. Yeah. So
Thank
just
you.
for my very last question, so what new projects would you like to announce on the show that are coming out, if you have any?
Cool. Yeah. So I have nothing that I want to that I can publicly announce just yet. There's something big that I'm working on for New Zealand, which is hopefully going to be a yearly thing. So that's really big. I've currently created acting lessons. I'm working with people one-on-one. So that's been really great to meet new people and to just encourage people along their journey in acting. So I've recently advertised for new openings in that group. And so I'm just waiting for the auditions to get back to me. So yeah. So that's really cool. Also, like I said, creating a YouTube channel that is going to be to do with it's to do with basically looking after yourself, health, and psychology, and just working through all of those things. And so it's not going to be this is how you do it. It's just going to be talking from perhaps some of my experiences, or sharing my thoughts and ideas, and also interviewing other people within the industry a lot of the time, who can also share their experiences. Because I think there are a lot of people, even though this day and age it's more of an open discussion. I think there are a lot of people that may not understand how to process their thoughts and their feelings, and to work on themselves in a healthy way. So, or work on that kind of thing in a healthy way. So, I really want to encourage people along those lines. So yeah, that's coming out hopefully sort of late this year, or even later this year. Yeah, we'll leave it at there. And other things will be announced later on, I think. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, James, for making an appearance on my show. It's been such a pleasure actually getting you on my show and having the chat with you. Any last final thoughts or anything that you would like to say on the show?
No, I think just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like no matter what, if you believe in it, and this is something you're really passionate about, then I'd say just keep going, and keep challenging yourself in these areas, and you'll see the benefits. I'm sure you probably already are. It's a real privilege again for to have the opportunity to have an interview. So thank you very much, Jacob, for that. And perhaps we can have another one later on.
We wanted everything, Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down, oh. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, we'll never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Have to have high hopes for a living, shooting for